Hi, my name is Simone and I'm a Zen Mommy. I help people with spiritual awakening and navigating your ascension and the healing of the mind, body, and soul. Today, I want to talk about my first astral travel experience. Yes, I did it. About a month ago, about a month ago, Dorian and I took a class, an astral travel class. And we also have a book. Is it up here? No, it is not. Okay, it's an astral travel book. I bought him last year for Valentine's Day. Um, since we met in through spirituality, and it was very important for us. We actually met through an astral travel group, and we had talked about ayahuasca and stuff. And so when we got together our first Valentine's Day, I bought him this astral travel book because I knew it was important to him. So we ended up taking a course together, and we started about a month ago, and it was hard. I was just, I mean, not that it is hard. It's just like, it's something to this whole astral travel thing. It feels impossible. And let me tell you, I've been out of body, on ayahuasca, and when you're out, it does feel so, easy and stuff. And if there's a video where I talk about my out of body experience on ayahuasca, I will link it right up there. And I so why was it hard for me? Okay, so it was hard for me because when I try to astral project, I always feel like I'm just trying to go like I can't get my energy focused on a phantom body. So you know how if someone loses their arm or their leg, and how they say, oh, they still have phantom feelings, like their hand might be gone, but they can feel their hand still. Well, that's actually your phantom body. And so with our techniques, we were having to practice using our phantom body. And it wasn't easy. Like, I wasn't sure if I was really feeling it or not. I think I was, and then I wasn't. And I was just like, oh, I can't wait. So we were doing these exercises every day to practice to do our astral traveling. And I started to get discouraged because I was like, this seems impossible. How do we know they're really astral traveling? Blah blah blah. And so I kind of fell off on practicing when Dorian would say, come on, let's do our practice today. So we did it for like a week and a half. And I said, I'm kind of busy right now. I don't want to, I kept making excuses not to do it. And so, but last night, okay, so crazy thing. So I'm getting storm for bed, and it's a little late. I see the clock and it's 11:11. So I put my son to bed at 11:11. Dorian goes to bed at 11:11. We all lay down at 11:11, right, basically. But I lay down and I cannot go to sleep. So I'm sitting there up for a couple hours. I'm like, okay, sometimes I go through this where I can't sleep, and so I got up and I was like, okay, I got to go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom and it's 1:11. It's so weird. 1:11. I was like, I caught that twice today. And so I go back and lay down, and finally I'm feeling tired and I'm drifting off. The next thing you know, okay, so I could feel myself just coming out of my body. And it was so easy. Like it happened like just naturally. But I didn't realize what was going on. I wasn't sure, what was going on. The next thing you know, I'm in the hallway of my from the bedroom going towards the living room. And all of a sudden I'm looking around like, oh my God, I'm astral traveling. I was I was floating off the ground about a couple feet up higher. And I began, my awareness started to kick in that I wasn't in my body anymore, and I was floating down the hall. I started, oh my God, I'm astral travel. I'm doing it. This is real. I can do it. I can do it. And I was like, I got to tell Dorian. That's the first thing. Cause like, this is something that we really want to do together. And we've been really excited about it. And I was just like, I got to go back and tell him. I can't believe it. I'm actually out of my body. I got it. I did it. And so I try to rush back to my body. Right. And when I get back to my body, I start to having that sleep paralysis thing. I'm like, I can't move, right? And the sleep paralysis thing, so when I couldn't move and I kept doing it, and then all of a sudden I reached over and I said, Dorian, babe, I astral traveled. I went out of body, astral traveled, right? And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go back, right? I'm going to get back out of my body and go back and finish this, right? And so I was about to go back out, and then I saw how dark the hallway was, and I got scared. And I said, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to do that right now because, Dorian told me never go into this with fears because you might manifest something crazy. And so the next thing you know, I'm into a dream now. And so the dream doesn't really have anything to do with the astral travel experience, but it was a crazy dream and I kind of want to share it. So it was crazy. I don't know if it was an alternate reality or actually I was next to my Oregon pyramid, which we found that gives us many, many dreams. And I noticed that this pyramid like is manifesting my fears in dream form a lot. And so it was happening every time this pyramid was in the bedroom that I would start taking it out of the room because I was, some of the dreams I was waking up, I was seeing like certain fears and it was really scaring me and I was waking up emotional. And so I had this dream and all of a sudden our condo is a house in this dream and I'm having guests over and it's me and Dorian. And all of the guests are all members from my old church I used to go to. And I think it was mostly ex-members. And I was like, it was kind of like a reunion. All these people I grew up with that I had to get cut off from because, I don't go there anymore. And then, I was throwing like a party get together. So I was really, really busy. Okay. So in our backyard, everybody was out in the backyard, and we had two artificial intelligent type robots. But for some reason, we were like, when everybody asked us were they robots, we were like, no, they're not a robot. I remember we said specifically they're not a robot, but they're our artificial intelligence. We had a special name for them. And so the next thing you know, people there were getting angsty, and they were arguing about spiritual beliefs. A lot of people had differences and stuff, and they knew we were spiritual people. They knew I was, who I was in Mommy, and I do these videos and stuff. And I started seeing the energy like turn in my party. And so I was just like, okay, I'm thinking of a plan to get everybody, let's just all have fun and not talk about, spiritual. I'm trying to get that to shift, right? And so, and a couple of people left because they were upset about whatever they were discussing. And I was like, okay, maybe it's good that they're leaving, So I go outside and I see one of the ministers sitting at my table. And it's one of the ministers that I used to meet with when I got in trouble. And he, and I didn't do anything bad to get in trouble, but everything was bad there. So just imagine like if you did something little, let's just say you went out with someone who wasn't in the church to dinner, you might get in trouble. If you go to the movies, you would have got in trouble. So there's little things. I got in trouble because I was listening to Michael Jackson. Someone like, oh, Simone, listen to Michael. They were really strict. Anyways, that particular minister was sitting right there. And I was just like, oh, you're at my party. How are you doing? I'm being nice and friendly. I'm not sure what his status is in this dream. I think that he was still there, but maybe they were shifting to being more open to spiritual stuff. I don't know what it was, right? And so after I talked to him, I could pick up that he was kind of being fake with his hello and stuff. I was like, okay, it doesn't matter. I got a house full of people. Let me focus on that. As I walk away, I hear him mumbling under his breath, to another person. They were talking about our robot AI, robot AIs, and he's all, I bet you we can hack those and make them do something bad make Dorian and Simone look bad, because they're, these spiritual people that everybody's affected by in a positive way. And so I was just like, they can't do that. I know my robots, whatever, right? And so I walk inside the room, in the bedroom, and I can see out into the window what's going on. I can see my two robots. The next thing you know, the robots' eyes light up red, and they get ready to, and it starts to put out a fist to punch someone. And I had a command. I was just like, stop attack. And then it turned off. And then he came back on, and I was like, stop attack. And then they started to turn the second one. I was like, stop attack. And I kept saying whatever the command was. I can't remember the exact command. And then they would stop. And the next thing you know, I couldn't say it fast enough. They kept, whatever they was hacking, they hacked into the program. And the robot started attacking my guests. And everybody's running out. And I was like, what the heck? And so the next thing you know, everybody's running out. It's just getting intense. And I'm about to run out there to get, so my little son, I lock him in the bedroom to make sure he's safe. And I run out there, and everybody's running out of the house now. They're leaving because robots is attacking people that I own. And then I find out, this is the sad part. They're like, it killed somebody's little boy. I was like, I was crying in a dream. I was like, what do we do? And then Dorian was like, I got to go outside. And I was like, no, don't go outside. And he says, I have to. And I was like, what are we going to do? These were our robots. We're responsible. And I remember feeling so emotional and upset. I couldn't believe it came to this. And the first thing I thought is I shouldn't have never invited them in my house. Their energy wasn't right. And I started to see, like, part of that message was like, you got to really be around people that you match the vibration of. Like, and when the energy is low, it could bring everything down with the people you surround yourself. I think that was part of my message. But I was frantic and overwhelmed. And then I woke up. And so I was sitting there, and my eyes are waking up, and I'm realizing I'm in bed. And I'm like, oh, God, thank God. That was just a dream. And then I look over at Dorian, and I realized I never woke up to tell him that I astral traveled, that too was a dream. And so I was just like, oh my God, I never told him when I thought I woke up and said, Dorian, guess what? I astral traveled. That was actually a dream. So what I think happened is when I went back to my body, I thought I just was still continuing to dream. And then it turned into that. So then I woke up. I was like, Dorian, wake up. I astral traveled. Oh, my God, blah, blah, blah. And then I told him the dream. And we talked about it later because he was really sleepy. So after he woke up, we talked about it. I said, it kind of reminds me what happened with the way that minister tried to take control of those robots and try to hurt the people in my house. It kind of reminded me, and I hate referring to the Bible. It reminded me when those religious groups wanted to kill Lazarus after he rose. And they're like, we can't let they're thinking we can't let the people believe in the truth, in the miracles and the truth for blah, blah, blah. And it kind of reminded me like our whole reason for turning on those robots and attacking people is they wanted all the church people, ex-church people were transitioning to spirituality in this dream. And they didn't like that. And so they caused something bad to happen to make us look bad. And I got quite a few messages from that. And but the most important thing is the astral travel. And as far as the other messages from that dream is it really gave me a lesson on my vibrations. Who am I being around? What am I allowing to influence my mind? Like a lot of things like television. Those type of things really, they're meant to program us. And as you notice, you really can't watch a show without something negative being put into it, like some type of, villain character or some type of really negative problem that has to be solved. And, I was thinking, in this ascension, I want to shift my life to have none of that negativity, less of that negativity to none of that negativity. And I feel like it was a message because before I went to sleep, because I was thinking about how, I've been working on my vibration. What can I do to to completely come out of this? And I think that was the message, is to really work on what's influencing my out on the outside of me, is influencing my energy. Like, why am I having? I notice I'm having a lot of dreams where I'm taking down like a shady government, or I'm taking down some people experimenting on humans. And so I'm having these kind of dreams, right? And so what I want to do is I want to shift that. So how do I shift that? Is I'm going to start removing influences. So I believe that's the main message I got from that. And, and also the other message is wanting to save people. That's not my job. I can't infringe on someone's experience. If they want to be religious and worship Jesus and do the heaven or hell and not be open to the limited possibilities, that is their choice between them and their higher self and their soul. And sometimes I take it personal because I want everybody to know the truth, like the truth of self. I mean, not saying that their truth is not a truth, because spirit has a way of making everybody right. But there are levels of the matrix, and religion is kind of part of that level. And because it limits you to one way, they'll never see the fullness of everything. They'll only see what they believe that's in this square Bible box. And so anyways, that was my first astral travel experience, followed by a haunting dream. And, I really wanted to share that. And I definitely want to talk more about astral travel. I'm really excited about that. Let's see, did I explain everything? When I was floating up, I finally understood the part I was learning about the phantom body. The phantom body, I could feel it. I could feel that all your energy comes out of your body. Now, we astral travel every night, but our consciousness doesn't go with it. And so this time I did. And I think that maybe it was to get me back on practicing and or give me these messages. But I couldn't believe it. And let me tell you, it was definitely way different than the ayahuasca experience where I shot up and went out of body. I realized that's something totally different. Astral level is a little bit above. It's like on this plane. But when I went to ayahuasca, I remember shooting up through so many dimensions. And I went to the higher realms where where I'm completely merged with my higher self, like the highest version of myself, the source. And it was out of this world. It was different than astral travel. So now I know there's different types of out of body experiences. And so anyways, I'll be sharing more. I would like to share more of that because that was cool. All right. Thank you for watching. Peace and love. Namaste.